Hello everybody, my name is Bill, and with me today is Gilby Clarke. He probably needs no introduction. He's been a tremendous musician for a lot of years. You've done you've had a great solo project. You worked with Slash, you were in Guns N' Roses for a number of years.
Nancy Sinatra.
Yeah, and more importantly,
MC5, Heart.
And more importantly, you like motorcycles.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for joining us today. We're out at the Kernville camp out, put on by Biltwell.
Yep.
And
been hanging out with these guys for a long time. Look at all my EDR patches.
Oh, dude. Yeah, take a look at this.
Yeah. And I don't even have them all. I only missed number one. That's
Is that right?
I missed. Yeah.
How did you get involved in motorcycling?
Oh, well, for me, it goes way, way back. When I was a kid, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, actually Euclid. And so one of my best friends, his older brother was in the club. And so every day we'd see him riding up and down the street, and like little kids just going, oh my God, oh man, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. And when you get old enough, you get a motorcycle. So I've always had a motorcycle.
Well, tell me about that first motorcycle you got.
My first motorcycle was the Honda, the Trail 70.
Dude, same. Yeah.
It got me back and forth. I worked in a music store. It got me back and forth to the music store. And then I got a Harley. I had a Harley a long time ago.
What was the first Harley?
My first one that I bought was an '89 Softail. And I chopped it. We had a group of guys when I was in Hollywood. I had a bunch of friends that we rented out a garage, and it was just kind of like, we'd hang out and work on bikes, and we just rip stuff off and put it back on and tear it, and ape hangers, cut the ape hangers, and three of those guys went on to the Motorcycle Institute in Phoenix, and they became professional mechanics, owned shops, and so that early on, like I said, we were already chopping and making noise.
Yeah, you've been in this game for a long time.
Yeah.
I saw that you rolled in on a panhead. Tell me a little about that pan.
Pan I've had since the late '80s. I bought it for like $2,000, man. That was when they were giving them away.
Really?
Yeah, giving them away.
That's a Billy buy right there, dude. That's a buddy Billy buy.
Yeah, and at that time, the guy that was selling it thought it was a lot of money. It's like nobody wanted knuckles and pans and shovels back then. They didn't. Everybody wanted Evos, and so I've had that one. That has been so many different incarnations of that bike. I've wrecked that bike twice. I've totaled the frame on that bike twice. So now, like I said, it's a 65, but it's in a wishbone frame. It's got a Springer front end, and now I make everything. As a matter of fact, I got the Biltwell. What are the Z bars? I got the bigger ones, and I chopped them, so I made them narrow.
Okay.
So they're taller, but they're narrow.
Almost kind of like a Frisco style
exactly.
bar. Yeah.
Because the tank is like a Wassel, and it's Frisco too, it's up high and stuff. But I change them not quite once a year, but maybe every other year. I just completely take it down and.
And you do it all yourself?
Everything myself. I do all the welding myself. I make all my pipes. I make everything. The sissy bars, handlebars. I've made a few of them, but I don't have a bender. I have to go to Caleb's for the bender. Yeah. But yeah, I do everything.
That's wild,
man. I love it.
That's absolutely cool. Yeah. And you got an old knucklehead too.
Yes,
right?
I do. I've had this 41. Matter of fact, my 41 knuckle. I had two. This one is a 41, and I bought off a Jesse James. And it wasn't as much as you would think a Jesse James bike was, but since then I've chopped it a couple different times.
Yeah, but what a piece of American V-twin history, man.
Yeah, 40. It's a good bike. I've ridden that. I rode that bike to Sturgis by myself. Any breakdowns? Matter of fact, it's so odd. My pan broke down 3 times coming here, and I made to Sturgis and back, never broke down once.
That's awesome.
But I also paced myself, I wasn't going that fast. I was taking it easy. It took me a week.
Yeah, dude, that's how we did. We did Sturgis this time. We did 5 days getting out there.
Yeah.
The best part about that trip is the ride out there, right?
Absolutely.
And we got a saying, the interstates are for truckers and suckers. Right? You learn so much more about America and about traveling by being on these smaller back roads or these highways like this here, 155.
I agree. And 89 through Utah and stuff.
Yes.
It's a great road. You go through the towns, you meet the people. Like I said, you're not eating at Taco Bell, you're eating at diners and things like that.
Yeah, you're eating at mobs.
Yeah, exactly. Mob chick. There you go.
So you mentioned that you'd crashed that pan twice. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What would you say that you've learned from your motorcycle accidents? You've been in a few.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from crashing your motorcycle? What does that
here's what I learned is everybody out there, except for your friends you're riding with, are trying to kill you.
Okay.
Every car is trying to kill you. And the thing is, they don't even know you're there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you just gotta fucking pay it. Excuse me.
That's okay. You can, yeah.
You just
If you were in Guns N' Roses, if you can't cuss.
it's in me.
Yes, all right.
You gotta pay attention, man. I mean, you just really have to anticipate everything. That's what I've learned. You have to anticipate, because if you go, well, that guy can make a left, he will make a left.
Yeah.
So that's what I've learned, man. I don't trust anybody out there.
Do you have any newer motorcycles, or do you have just all the older chopper stuff?
I have a Road King. I got a 2019 Road King.
They're a great platform.
Yes. Yeah.
The difference that they made on those frames, I think it was an 08 or 09.
Yeah. This is the M8 motor.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I really haven't done anything to it, a couple upgrades, but it's so fast.
Isn't it weird that Harleys are kind of reliable now?
Oh, it's completely reliable. I've done all the work on it myself. Like every tune-up, I bought it a week before I went to Sturgis 2019, and I just hit 50,000 miles on it.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
I ride that thing, man.
Yeah, man. There are a lot of kids, especially at this event, right? The Kernville Campout. This is so cool because Biltwell has such a wide audience.
True.
There are a lot of younger kids that are thinking about buying a Sportster or thinking about buying a Harley, but maybe they're not comfortable with it. What advice would you give them as somebody who is thinking about joining this motorcycle community of ours?
I think the Sportster is a great idea, because you have enough power to get out of a bad situation, and you're still a slim bike, because no matter what, when you ride now, you're splitting lanes if you're in California. Yeah. You have to. It's the nature of the beast. So I do think I think jumping into like a rigid pan or a shovel head, it might be a little rough for your first bike, especially a suicide shift, man. It's hard. You need to be able to get out of a bad situation.
What motorcycle have you ridden that really surprised you?
Let me see. Well, I mean, my Road King, my 2019 Road King. Last new bike I had, I bought a 2003 Fat Boy, and that was it's still a motorcycle. It's a soft tail. It's still well, not quite chopper, but it's still. But man, when I got that Road King, man, I mean, I couldn't believe how fast it was. I mean, I'm not an FXR kind of guy, but man, like I said, I can pass anybody. I can get anywhere I need to be.
And even in the turns.
Yeah.
You'd have no idea that bike weighs as much as it weighs.
Exactly. It's well balanced, and like I said, I love it. I love it. Some of my buddies that have the old bikes, like, oh, you're gonna ride your Road King? Yeah, I'm gonna ride my Road King today.
Dude, I think it's so cool that you've been around for so long, and that a lot of people probably don't recognize that you are such a motorcycle guy and that you build all your own parts. Did you have that in your life as a kid? Did you grow up
No. I mean, I would say that a lot of my younger, like I said, in my early 20s, like I said, we did have bikes and we worked on them and stuff, but still with my newer bikes, I usually would take it, to Harley or someone to get it fixed. It wasn't until one day I was working on my pan, I had to take it to someone to get something welded. And I took it to this guy and he welded it, and it broke like right away. And the guy that I was talking to was an idiot. I mean, and I go, if this guy can fucking weld, I can weld.
Yeah.
And so one of my friends was a professional. He gave me an hour lesson, and I've been doing it ever since.
An hour lesson.
Yeah, an hour. He gave me some great tips. I mean, I really only TIG weld.
Yeah.
But it's not that hard. Just practice, and
you know. I find that TIG welding is actually more reliable for me because you can control your puddle a lot easier.
Absolutely.
And it kind of makes us the oddballs.
Yeah.
And that.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to. We could sit here and talk for another 30 minutes easy, but we're clearly running out of light. And let's get back to the Kernville Campout and go listen to some live music. I like the Rhyolite sounds. And until next time, I guess, man.
You got it, man.
Yeah. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Absolutely. And like I said, we've been having a good time coming out to the Kernville. This is, I think, my third one. I didn't go in the beginning ones. But we have a blast.
Yeah, it's a really good time. If we don't see you here, we'll see you at Sturgis.
You
Until then, check out Gilby Clarke. You guys have already listened to him, so you might as well check him out. Where can we find you at online?
We're GilbyClarke.com. Instagram is GilbyGTR. I don't do Facebook, but that's it. Really, Instagram's the only thing I really do. I like it.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll check you out on Instagram. We'll tag you down below.
Man.
Thank you, Gilby.
You got it, man.
Yep. Let's get back to the party, guys. See ya.